Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Well, welcome to Date Night, Nici. Date Night Volume 3.
Date Night Volume 3?
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And you warm enough?
Not too bad. I'll be back in a second.
Alright, go back and... She's going to get a cardigan. Just an update on the weather. It has cooled down a little bit today. Current weather report. Currently 17 degrees at Glengarry. The weather. They're probably not going to be doing much of this now because I don't reckon live radio people won't really care about weather updates.
Take off one headphone so you're not yelling.
What about that?
Well, can you not wear one?
No, I don't. No, I could wear it like that. Maybe a radio they'd used to pop it on just above your head there so you can kind of...
Still hear.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I reckon that's how they did it in radio.
Maybe tighten one side and loosen the other.
Could probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining me for date night.
Thanks for having me.
That's alright, we're trying out my new muff.
Yeah, your Merkin's great.
Yeah, it's a good muff.
Just kind of want to stroke it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
And what's been going on? Some cheese.
Yeah, a bit of cheese and crackers.
Sparkling.
Bit of sparkling.
Bit of...
Just celebrating my groundbreaking ideas, really.
Yeah, congratulations to that.
Okay, yeah, it's new business ventures, finding opportunities in the in other people's suffering. I think is what a lot of entrepreneurs like to do. What the fuck was that? All right, do I have to go out there and be the alpha male now?
No, I'll do it. It's alright, babe.
Mrs. Mangles is coming out there with her. She's going to investigate what that bang was in Glengarry here, which is full of nanas and bikies. If you come in at night, you can hear the police sirens and the CPAP machines blaring. She's longer than 5 minutes. I'm going to have to check on her. I swear to God, she's just being Snoopy. No, I'm good, thanks, darling. I'm right with these. So what happened out there?
I don't know. She's black and dead quiet. No idea. It's a cat.
So you checked on your mum as well? She alright? Okay.
But you check on my mum while I was out doing the man work. Checking the front yard. Alright, where are we?
Oh, I can't remember.
Alright.
Well, I'd like I said, if you're more than 5 minutes, I was going to check on you.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
So, tell me how your people are being impacted by what's currently happening with social isolation or self-quarantine.
It's not about my people.
Yeah.
I can't speak on behalf of my people, but I only hear what I read on social media.
On how it's impacting you?
No, how it's impacting them. You're asking how it's impacting me?
I'm asking how it's impacting you.
Oh, right, okay. Good question. Not really. I've been in isolation for 5 years. To be honest with you, it's kind of nice to... As terrible as it sounds, it almost feels nice that the rest of the world has gone down to my level. They've lowered themselves.
I didn't know you were going to say that.
Why do you ask questions that you already know the answer?
Good shortbread.
Is it? No, it's hard to get excited about shortbread.
There's a little one, so...
Ah. I don't know why the Scottish get so excited about it.
Cheese and shortbread's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
No, I prefer cheese and raisin toast.
Well, it's similar kind of thing. It's that salty, sweet.
Right.
Cheese and raisin toast is good.
Yeah. So where were we?
I don't know. cheese and shortbread. Try it.
Try it, okay. Everyone's freaking out. Like, people don't know how to handle crisis situations. It almost feels like the whole world has been hypnotised. Like, someone's just come in and just gone to them, okay.
What do you think of the conspiracy theories, like in regards to aliens?
If the government kind of just declared tomorrow that aliens exist and they're on the world right now, we would just fucking freak out. But I think they're almost controlling us to the point where they're just kind of building it up step by step. Kind of like the frog in the boiling saucepan analogy, where you stick a frog in a saucepan and you turn the heat right up to 100 degrees, the frog will jump out. But if you heat up the water very slowly, it'll just build it up to a simmer and then to a slow boil. The frog will remain in the hot water because it's conditioned.
Boil to death.
Yeah, and it'll just boil to death. It's kind of like that. So something big is...
Do you want to hear another theory about animals in boiling water?
Yeah.
That if you throw a heap of female lobsters
Yes.
into the one giant pot that's boiling,
Yeah.
they'll all push each other down to try and get out of the pot.
Uh-huh.
But male lobsters
Yeah.
make ladders and climb their way out.
Yeah,
Work
yeah.
as a team.
Yeah, okay.
Fun fact.
That's funny. Only you're allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that.
What? But it's true, it's science.
Yeah, well, you hear that? Nici's words, not mine.
It's Google it.
Yeah. That's so funny. But yeah, in answer to your question, I don't give a fuck. And now it's almost given me this safety net. The bank's not going to come in and take my house tomorrow.
No.
Fuck yeah. I feel really relieved about that. Because last year I thought that was going to happen. But I'm not going to make it into a fucking competition, because I'm not one of those pricks. But I've been through a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got that perspective. I don't have a fear of death, whereas everyone's running around and they're fearing their own mortality. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know what it's to be totally alone. Like, I've been stuck in a hospital bed for a year and couldn't move. Like, I know what loneliness is, but you got all these people that just have to constantly be around people and all of a sudden told to isolate.
There will be a lot of people that struggle with that.
Oh, fuck yeah. I get it, but I don't get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What was it like as an outsider to see me completely lose my mind? Because at that point, people were going, well, it must have been so scary for you. It was like, well, no, it wasn't. Because
you're out of your mind.
I was out of my mind. It was amazing. I slept for 3 weeks.
Mm.
What was it like for you?
It was pretty intense. I think just kind of timing was good but bad in regards to, that makes it sound bad. Like at that time when you got sick, I just bought this house.
Mm-hmm.
The day you went into ICU was the day I got the keys to this place and it was settlement.
Right.
But in regards to the build up to you getting sick, I remember like you saying you kind of had flu viral symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you driving me home and then not remembering driving me there. Next day you went to Norwood Medical Centre.
Right.
And they said you've got possibly gastro.
I drove myself there?
Yeah, you drove yourself there. And then
Fuck.
I remember rocking up to your place and bringing some chicken soup.
Yeah.
And you were acting normal just with kind of like coughing.
And that was when the power went out or something, and then I had to call Martin to get him to flick the switch.
Maybe, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, I remember it was staying at my house and the power went out.
Yeah.
And then I threw up all over the wall.
Yeah, he threw up all over the wall.
Right.
Like chicken soup.
Uh-huh. Just projectiled it.
Yeah. And then it was a couple of days after that, you were getting up every 3 hours and showering.
Mm-hmm.
You'd stand in the shower for about an hour or till the hot water ran out, and you come back to bed.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of days of that, and then I think your dad took you to Ashford.
Yeah. And that's when you abused the person behind the...
No, that was
the doctor.
Flinders.
Oh, okay.
So then we took you to Ashford, and
then
they
the
did
ones
an
that-
X-ray, and you were chronically constipated, and they were pumping you full of fluids, and said it was gastro,
Yeah.
and sent you home. And then we took you to Flinders, or maybe it was Flinders, then Ashford, then Flinders. Anyway, first one visit at Flinders, I remember had an Indian lady doctor who
Yeah.
just thought you were a drug addict.
Oh, that's right. She thought I was just...
And that was
just
an
wanted
emergency.
endo. She thought I wanted endo.
Yeah, because who gave you endone? Someone,
Ashford.
Ashford gave you endone, and
Yeah.
because you were starting to obviously swell up on the brain,
Yeah.
you took 13 endone in 10 hours.
Uh-huh.
That was that must have been just like when your mum... Is that the time we took you back maybe to Flinders? And that's when you're off your face and she thought you were a drug addict. That was that time. And then anyway, they monitored you, put fluids in you, discharged you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're at Mum's old place. And then that's when you hadn't pissed or shit in like 10 days. And... you started walking like you'd had a stroke down my hallway, and you couldn't hold yourself up.
Well, was that the virus, or was that from overdosing from all the
That was the
endo?
virus. Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, hang on.
Pause.
No, we'll still go, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bit of a distraction here. Louis got to do a wee, so we'll be back soon.
Good.
Wait.
So you were... I think the part like we hadn't peed or shat, and then you were walking like you had a stroke, so like your shoulder dropped, you didn't have movement in your left arm or leg properly, you couldn't support yourself.
Uh-huh.
And then you didn't want me to call your parents, but I did. And then...
What was at my house?
That was at Mum's house.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Lucky I did, because they ended up having you overnight at their house. I think they took you to...
Was that when I got the hiccups?
Dr. Burns. You had hiccups for about 3 or 4 days.
All right.
At home and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, yeah, you had chronic hiccups for about 3 or 4 days. And then I think you went to Burnsy, and he thought you had, is it Guillain-Barré syndrome?
Yeah.
And you were rushed straight to Flinders pretty much and admitted for tests.
Because I got referred to by a GP, they treated my case seriously.
Yeah.
Whereas I just walked in there.
Well, let's just say Norwood Clinic, gastro, said it was gastro.
Yeah.
Flinders thought you were a drug addict. Ashford gastro, sent you home. Back to Flinders to all hours. Remember the second time when we took that photo in the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the second time.
Yeah.
They hydrated, just sent you home. Then Dr. Burns, and then back to Flinders. So that's 6 contacts in around 10, 11 days, I think,
Oh.
to get you.
I didn't realise there was 3 times in Flinders. I thought it was only 2.
Well, it was the 2
Wow, yeah.
to emergency and then admitted through referral from your GP.
The last thing I remember is sitting down to have a shower.
Yeah, you had some lovely nurses, like
Yeah.
amazing nurses, and your specialist was lovely. But yeah, it was just, I guess, your body didn't relax, so you were consistently like lying there and typing almost in your sleep, like spasms, neurological, like you'd just be consistently with your hands typing and body jolting, talking a lot of shit.
Like what?
Well, like, you had this male nurse
Yeah.
who I think had a bit of a soft spot for you, and
Right. He didn't fuck me, did he?
no.
Okay.
And I was there when he showered you, so it's
Okay.
all okay.
I didn't get fucked in my coma.
No.
Okay, that's good.
No. Fucked in the head. You were doing things like, you know, like Mission Impossible screens, like you had all these.
Oh, like Minority Report
Yeah,
stuff.
Minority. That's the one I was thinking
Yeah.
of. Tom Cruise sank out different horns. So you were like doing touch screens, and you wanted to buy him this red car online that you thought would be a good car for him.
Yeah.
Your specialists kind of, you couldn't answer straight up questions, like when they asked your age, you give my age, not your age.
Right. I was thinking about you though. That's nice.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
What else? They asked what you did for a living, and you said that you couldn't tell them, and that it was embarrassing. And she's like, "No, seriously, what do you do for a living?" And you're like, "I get my cock out on stage." And then she looked at me, and I'm like, "Well, that's kind of true."
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to define my identity.
Well, I ended up
Really?
giving her like just YouTube searches and saying like, "He's fucking weird, but this is like his normal weird. The stuff he's doing now is like not normal weird."
Yeah, okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think she went home and kind of Googled you and
Fantastic.
work out what level of weird she was dealing with.
It's been a while since I've Googled myself. I'm sure there's some amazing shit there she would have...
Let's just hope Scatman was down at that time. And then from there, it was kind of like I think you're in that room for a few days, 5 or 6 days. I can't remember, like time was kind of weird. And then I think it was your mum or dad rang me to tell me that you're being moved to ICU. So I basically moved all the furniture in here and then took off to the hospital. You'd had a few lumbar punches that were pretty traumatising. I think you had one and it was really painful, and so when you had to go back for another spinal tap, you got a bit distressed.
I think actually when I went to sign it, I signed it, "You're a cunt." Like that was my signature.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of MRIs.
Yeah.
I guess with the swelling, monitoring the swelling on the brain, but it was, kind of, I think hit the spine, lower spine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you're in ICU, and you're pretty crook, like in regards to lots of tubes, feeding tubes, oxygen, machines, colostomy bags, and then kind of quite in and out of it.
Didn't I start crying in your face or something? When you were crying, and then I just started
I started crying, and then you mimicked me. I think that's before you were in ICU. That's kind of you did lots of weird stuff. Yeah, so you kind of back in my face when I cried. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's alright. You're losing your mind. One time. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Must have known it was distressing.
It's pretty scary.
I must have subconsciously knew.
Knew what? Everyone was scared.
Yeah.
Don't know what you were thinking. You were like pretty out of it. And I think too, kind of building up to it, you've got a really good habit of like, if you're not feeling the best, faking it.
Kind of like drunk, trying to walk past the security guard
Yeah.
going, I'm straight, let me into the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were trying, because you just wanted to get it, initially before you were in ICU.
Yeah, I just wanted to get out of
You
the
just wanted
hospital.
to get out of there, so you would just...
Playing it straight.
Yeah. And fake a lot of stuff to try and pass to get out.
Genius.
Yeah, you did give it a good crack.
Yeah, had a good go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better than the other way.
Like you know, when they were, what do you call them, that they bounce on your knee for, like,
Yeah.
reflexology.
Yeah.
And at the other end of it, of the hammer is,
Yeah,
knitting
yeah.
needle kind of shape.
Yeah.
And so that they'd scratch it up your foot and they go left or right, and you'd be going left. Your head isn't even touching either of them. And you're looking at me like, yeah, I got that one, didn't I? I'm just like, no, bubble. You just like tried to fake every test. Yeah.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like thumbs up.
Yeah, you're giving me that like side look, like, yeah. Is it left or right? It's like,
Like, wait for me.
Yeah.
Just cough me the answer.
left.
Nice.
Yeah. I still think one of the funniest times, like, in the shittiest of those times, was because you hadn't pooed in like 2 weeks. Maybe longer. Might have even been longer than that.
It's a long time to not go without a shit.
It was a long time. And you're really kind of like full of shit at the Ashford point, so... and that was like weeks beforehand. So you thought you needed to go to the toilet. And I think too, obviously, because there was like so much neurological damage, immediate and neurological damage, that you'd been waiting for that kind of sensation, so to speak. And like the hottest, youngest nurse and with that bedpan, and like Adam was there, and you're like looking at Adam like, I'm just gonna get up and walk to the toilet, you could just leave it there, and she's like looking at you like, you can't fucking walk. Like, you got no legs. That was pretty funny.
That's hilarious. I didn't want to shit in front. I didn't want to shit
No, you
myself
were
in front of her.
mortified. Then Adam's kind of looking at you like, dude, like you could see the pain in his face for you. The hottest nurse.
Yeah. The one that gave my first sponge bath was pretty hot too.
Was she?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she was pulling in my dick and I couldn't even feel it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
Is this the hospital or rehab?
That was a hospital.
You're talking about the time I busted that old duck giving you a bath.
Yeah, polishing my end.
Yeah.
She was sitting on my stomach, wasn't she? Like a little 5-foot nurse.
No. You know your nurses mixed up. There's like a 3-foot nurse in ICU used to carry around her own step ladder to change all your
Oh, nice.
your fluids.
Okay, I'm
So
combining
she was
them.
tiny.
I'm combining
Maybe
them.
not 3 foot, but at least
Yeah.
4'9".
Yeah.
But no, I did come to visit you when you got out of ICU and you're in the ward.
Yeah.
And there was a more mature nurse giving you a bath, and it was while she was kind of scrubbing in that area
Yeah.
that I happened to
Walk in.
rip back the curtain.
Oh, I can be like,
I
oh, hello.
know, she had this look, like she looked mortified, and then I felt awkward.
Yeah.
And you're just lying there kind of...
Gone, honey.
And you, like, I don't know if you remember, but, yeah, this is really inappropriate.
So,
And you might need to just edit it.
Yeah.
But you had, like, chronic, like, spastic hands.
yeah.
Do you remember? Like,
Yeah.
you always had your hands curled up, like...
Yeah. Holding the blankie.
Stephen Hawking style, like up under your chin.
Yeah.
For like months. Even when you kind of, your arms would come down, you go to sleep and you would, for ages, you still slept in that, like...
Yeah, with a little, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex claws.
Yeah. That was kind of weird. For ages. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just the head on a pillow.
Well,
I had to change my pillow. I had to move it every half an hour because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, and you're on that,
But my legs were, like, pinned behind my ears.
yeah, you're on like a proper, air bed.
Mm.
Before you went into ICU when you were losing your mind, do you remember thinking that your blood pressure machine, well, it was either blood pressure or antibiotics, but it was beeping?
Mm-hmm.
And you thought it was a fax machine?
Yes, I don't remember that.
And you kept yelling out for the nurse to come and turn the fax machine on?
No, I don't remember that. I just remember having a little pump, and when you'd press the button, you'd get like a morphine shot.
Yeah.
So I just remember just kept pumping it
Yeah.
until it ran out, and I'd like, and they're like, no, you got none left, mate. You've used it all up.
Yeah, but they don't, that's not, they just told you that what it does, you can only pump so much every hour, so even if you sit there like in complete agony pumping it.
I was doing that. I wasn't doing fuck all.
Yeah, because it only gives you so much per period of time.
Yeah. So I was
So you don't
pumping it.
overdose on it.
But I was just, at that point, I was just floating around the hospital ward like bed knobs and broomstick style, just floating on the bed.
And you saw a ghost in your ward. Do you remember that? Or
Yeah, it was a kid.
Was it a hallucination or a ghost?
There was this kid sitting on the end of my bed, this redhead kid, and I said, dude, fuck off, mate. Like, you're sitting on the end of my bed. Like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah.
And then I was looking up and there was this black cat on the roof and there was a suitcase. And I'd just, like, turn away and I'd look back and then the cat would move and then I was just, like, started psyching myself. Like, that's how I entertained myself. Was like, I'd turn away and I'd go, alright, cat, move to the right, and I'd go back and the cat would be, fucking, what was that? And, oh, it's my phone. And, yeah, I was just screwing with that.
Yeah.
Black cat in a suitcase.
Yeah. And bless Mario, the little Italian old man across from you who drove you nuts because he was in so much pain and being a very vocal Italian.
Oh, mate.
And then he was...
It's like, press the button, you fuckhead.
I remember when he was like swearing at his wife and tell him off and he'd just go, Mamma mia, instead of affangu batana.
What does that mean?
Fuck you, bitch, or something.
Oh, right.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, okay.
He did high school Italian.
Yeah, but it's just like, fuck off, mate, press the button. Like,
And that other old guy who looked like the grandpa with the long beard in The Simpsons who sat across from you.
Yeah, he was a wizard.
And he was in a diaper and he'd get up and he'd take his diaper off and just wander around nude. Do you remember that? Rowan was like the youngest person in every ward that we experienced through Flinders. So he was basically with a whole heap of like 80-year-old men who a few of them had passed away while his time was in that ward. And I know it's a congested medical system, but I think if you were surrounded by some people your own age and not dying old men, it would have probably helped with your recovery a bit.
Oh, for sure. And there wasn't even a pandemic. It was like one in a fucking million case.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have the fucking beds for it.
Yeah. So
and there's this
you can
woman
only imagine what they're going through now.
Oh, this woman came in and like had dementia and then started abusing me, thinking I was her ex-husband, and I just kept saying yes to her until she fucked off.
Yeah.
Just came in and just yelled at me all the time.
Is that true? Is that hallucination?
No, it's true.
I think nurse come and go there.
Yeah, she just kept wandering in all the time. So fuck off.
I think I do recall you telling me about that.
Yeah. And then there was a huge waiting list to get in Hampstead, wasn't it? Like, they were going to say I was going to be there for fucking 3 months or something.
Yeah, initially it was like 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, fuck. And I just wanted to go home.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got into Hampstead pretty quick. It was only
Yeah.
like about
3 weeks.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was 3 weeks.
Was that 3 weeks?
Yeah, so I was just...
That's
waiting.
right, because we were kind of sneaking out of the wheelchair down to quick sticks and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I was just breaking out.
Yeah, you were breaking out.
Yeah. Well, even worse was when they brought me back for tests.
Yeah.
And then they're basically funding me for 2 beds. Just because they were treating me like a guinea pig because they wanted to know.
Yeah.
They were doing studies on it. They wanted to know answers. It's like, well, I'll tell you, but you pay me.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you a funny time in the hospital. Like none of this is really funny, but looking back, it's kind of funny.
No, it's good. I like this.
I remember when you're in the room, you're starting to lose your mind quite badly.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there with your mum, and the neurologist came in, and she's like going through all this list of like what they were eliminating because they had no idea what was going on. You know, like you remember like the rundown of like, have you been around horses? Have you been around bats?
Oh, because it was like Hendervirus and stuff like that, wasn't it?
Virus,
Yeah.
So, but this is one time she came in with all like the results from all your tests, and she's like, oh, tested negative for this, tested negative for that, and then she's gone, tested negative for herpes, tested negative for HIV, because there are 2 things that can also trigger like neurological. And so I've kind of done this like little air punch, like no STDs, and your mum's like looking at me like every time she said like no herpes, no HIV, your mum's like giving me side stares like you passed the test. It was so awkward.
Well done.
Yeah, congratulations. Clean boy for such a dirty lifestyle.
So you just did a little air punch?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the STDs came back negative.
You didn't do the moonwalk down the hallway going, he's got no AIDS, he doesn't have AIDS.
No, just quite a little air punch.
Like a little autistic tremor.
Yes. No, like kind of micro John Bender Breakfast Club.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thanks. Good for you.
Were you scared? Was your heart beating when she was reading out the results?
No, well...
Was it like... Was it like standing at a game show waiting to find out if you'd won $1 million?
It's like being at the cast and putting all your chips on the one on black.
Yeah.
Fucking yes.
Oh, wow. Your heart would have been pumping.
It was just nervous times the whole time, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Well, from my perspective. It's like, this is a little scary for me, and I feel kind of taken me back a little bit.
This moment?
Yeah, like what's going on now. But it's not just one person, it's everyone I care about. I think it's pretty traumatic what I saw you go through. I can't even imagine what it was like for you,
But is that
someone standing on the outside watching and
does
not being able to help or...
Does that make this current situation easier or harder for you?
Harder, I think.
Yeah. But you don't have some strength because you've been there, or?
At this stage, it's just more anxiety, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah. You're, like you said, you understand you've battled your strengths and your resilience with getting sick from something that is beyond your control, and
yeah,
you know. So
do you think that's why people go out and they buy heaps of toilet paper and start buying up, because it's their way of trying to feel like they're in control when they're not?
No, I think they're just fucking idiots with mass hysteria. Like, you know how they say, oh, one person will cough, and then you feel like you have to cough, or
Yeah.
your best mate's kid's got lice, and you sat on the couch for an hour, and then you get in the car and you drive home and you're scratching your head even though you don't have lice, or
Yeah.
there's like mass hysteria back to. I remember reading something on. There was this like village in like the early century where it was like this laughing disease. I don't know if you've heard of it, like where someone thought it was this contagious laugh, and the laugh was killing people, like they were laughing themselves to death.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were like groups of it, and it was just a cause of mass hysteria. People were so scared they were going to get it, they just convinced themselves into getting it. So I think like with this, it's just, I don't know, toilet paper, too much television, too much.
Yeah.
You like see people just panicking buying one thing, like it could have been Vegemite, and everyone's going to go and run out and get Vegemite because they think they're not going to get any. It's fucking stupid. It's selfish. It's a lot of uneducated people. They're not running out of food or toilet paper. It's just so fucking stupid, and it's just mean. And I just find it crazy that it's major shopping supermarkets and chains that have to control society because we can't even find humanity to make sure everyone's got enough.
Mm.
Like that everyone's got enough.
People are cunts.
Yeah, they are.
Good cheese.
It's alright, cheese.
It's alright cheese.
Do you think you run out of cheese or crackers first?
I think the crackers warm enough.
Yeah. Could we go to bed after you eat your cheese?
I'm gonna have crazy dreams tonight.
Did you bring your CPAP?
Yeah, it's in the car.
God,
Was I snoring last night?
yeah, bad.
Bad?
Yeah, bad.
Sorry.
I'm going to bed.
Alright, sweetheart. This is my last bit of cheese.
You still got 5 crackers?
Yeah, that's true. But don't have to eat all the crackers. I think it's time we're gonna fuck off and have a bit of sexy time now. He's just looking at me going, you ain't getting nothing, so,
I'm going to watch American Psycho.
and she's gonna watch American Psycho. So, thanks, Nici.
Thanks, Rowan.
No worries.
Love you.
Love you too.
Elbow bump?
Yeah, elbow bump. She tongue-pashed me, and then we got an elbow pump. So, pretty sure that if either of us have anything, we would have got it from the tongue pash.
Probably.
So, it's almost like breaking the condom. It's now a bareback.
It's nothing like a frog in boiling water.
Energy Consultant is produced by Ryan Harry and distributed by the Ozcast Network.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.